everybody. Welcome in to the Razorback reaction show for Natty State Sports. I am John Nabors alongside Curtis Wilkerson. And, all right. So that was happened. A game. Happened. It did transpire. Yeah, the final score was 92-63. And, you know, I actually thought that this game in the beginning was going to be close, high scoring, Arkansas hitting threes. But you know what, Curtis? Tennessee is just a really dadgum good team, and Arkansas is not.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much sums it up right there. Some of these games for Arkansas this year, you've wondered, have they played hard? Are they connected? Are they tough enough? This wasn't that. They played hard until it was well out of control. Like, Tennessee's just flat out better. Like, offensively, defensively, they're more talented. They're deeper. They're better coached. All those things are true. And, I think credit to Arkansas in the first half. They played with confidence. They were hitting some shots. They were getting after it. They were forcing some turnovers. They were making too many, and so the first half was kind of why I had, I think, some optimism going into the game today. But the second half was just a very, cold splash of water in the face of like a reminder that Tennessee's just, like you said, really, really good, and Arkansas is just not.
Me is just really what it came down to. And, Arkansas made a lot of mistakes in this game. You got to give them credit because we've talked about it, I know, on my show, and I'm sure you guys talked about on Pod at the Palace too many times, is about this team and how they start. It seems like if they start well, then maybe the game will be close. Maybe the game will not get out of hand, whatever it may be. Arkansas actually started this game fairly well. I mean, they were hitting their shots, and for it to just be a 6-point game at halftime, 46-40, you felt really good about Arkansas's chances of possibly hanging around, doing something, but just utter destruction. I mean, Tennessee scored 46 in the first half. They scored 46 in the second half. Yeah. And Arkansas scored 40 in the first half, 23 points in the second half. And it's just the mistakes that Arkansas made, they were just too much to overcome. They had 15 turnovers in this game, only 9 assists. They shot 37% from the field on the game, 25% in the second half. Just... Again, I think we were hopeful. We saw the energy for the game. It looked like they were bouncing around. It looked like they were excited. But, like you said, they played hard. They gave the effort. But it didn't matter how much effort or how hard you played in this game. Tennessee's just better, and they put their foot on your throat and just stomped you out. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, they really did. I almost wonder if I don't want to take anything away from Arkansas in the first half, but I wonder if some of it was kind of fool's gold. In that, Tennessee was on the road Saturday. They had a tough one against Texas A&M, quick turnaround. They're on the road again. And I think you could tell they weren't locked into, like, the Rick Barnes standard defensively in the first half. So, credit to Arkansas for taking advantage of that. But it seems like they got into the locker room at halftime, and he probably laid into him a little bit. And they just came out and defended the way they were capable of in the second half. And Arkansas didn't have anything for them, man. I mean... Yeah, 25% in the second half. That's just not going to get it done, especially when you just physically are incapable of getting a stop defensively. They can't stop anybody.
No.
And, one of the things we wrote about before the game was, would Arkansas have, like, enough shot making to hang around? They did for 20 minutes. But it's a 40-minute game. So, that's what you get.
Isn't that insane, though, that, like, it got to the point to where we were at and watching this game, and I remember looking at you guys and just thinking that maybe, just maybe, this was going to, hit the over. It was going to be able to be a game that they really got it going the way that it needed to go. I liked when Caleb Battle comes into the game. He hits a 3. So, that looked good. He had L. Ellis hitting a 3. Shamon Mark, I think, hit 2 threes. I think Arkansas started 4 or 5 from 3.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what we maybe halfway joked about on my show today. It's like, hey, only ways that Arkansas is going to win is if this game's really ugly or if Arkansas goes crazy from three-point land. And I wouldn't say they went crazy from three-point land, but they
by
did
their
at
standards.
Least, yeah, I was about to say, they hit 8 of 23, and that's a lot more than they usually do. So it wasn't an ugly game, though. Tennessee, I got to give credit where credit is due. I was kind of looking at you funny when you were saying that this could be the Tennessee team with Rick Barnes that could actually do something. And they're really freaking good. I
Yeah,
mean, they
they-
just flat. I know Arkansas is not good. Tennessee is legit, as
Yeah.
legit as they come.
Yeah, I mean, Dalton Connect is a lottery pick. Like, and he, by his standards, like, I mean, he's averaging 20 points per game. He scored 22 tonight, which I think was actually the under because it was at 22 and a half. But he's the real deal, man. And Arkansas didn't have anything for him. Jonas Adu, the big man,
Yeah.
like he was like Bay Fall as a freshman, and he's gotten so much better. Arkansas, they didn't have anything for him either. Like, he was working Chandler Lawson like crazy in the pick and roll. The supporting cast around him is just solid. But the thing about Tennessee is, like, they're always going to be really, really solid on the defensive end, and they are.
Yep.
But this year, they're a little inconsistent offensively, but they've got way more firepower than they ever have. I mean, they can put it on you in a hurry. And even though it was a close game in the first half, like, there was just a huge difference between the two teams offensively. Arkansas was hitting some shots. Tennessee was running their stuff.
Yep.
Like, they're setting screens. They're setting their man up. The cuts are on time. The reads are there, and they're getting high-quality shots, and they're just knocking them down. They're well-coached, and they run their stuff, man. They're impressive.
Yeah, and that, like, I like how you brought it up that, like, Arkansas was just hitting shots. Like, Tennessee is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yeah, if any team's hitting shots, you're always going to be in games. You're always going to be messing around and possibly finding ways to win in at the end of games. But when you're like a team like Tennessee, yeah, they hit some shots, but the reason they're hitting their shots is because of how well executed their plays were, how well executed that they had that in transition, getting to the rim, getting to the basket, taking advantage of some of the problems that Arkansas's had, especially in the size underneath. Just, I mean, again, I hate to keep saying it, but I think they're the best team I've seen Arkansas play this year, at least in Bud Walton Arena. I mean, say what you want about Duke or Purdue or anything, but as far as just complete run-of-the-mill basketball team, Tennessee might be the best.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, we were down in the Bahamas too and watched them play, North Carolina and Memphis, those other teams down there. And Tennessee's the best team I've seen this year. And I don't think that's underselling it at all. And it's just, man, it's just a frustrating deal for the team this season. Scottie was talking to me about it earlier, and it's like, you beat Purdue in this building. I get it. Exhibition. You beat Duke in this building. And then in the same season, you get 30-piece by Auburn and Tennessee, on your home floor. You get a double-digit beatdown from South Carolina. Like, it's just, what happened, man? And you just think about a Wednesday night in Bud Walton Arena. Like, it's Valentine's Day or whatever, but you got a top 10 team in the country in this building, and it's half full, and it was a ghost town with like 8 minutes left.
Yep.
It's just, this year has just been nuts,
It
man.
sucks.
It sucks.
It's
not
just,
fun.
It just is what it is. It sucks.
It is not fun at all.
You mentioned the Auburn game and then this game. So these are two now 30-point beatdowns at home that you've experienced. The South Carolina game, I think they lost by 13, 14, but it might as well have been 20, 25. Yeah. Like, that game wasn't even close. And, if there was ever something that – because I truly believed at one point in time that Bud Walton magic was a thing. And I'm not saying that it's gone forever, but this year it does not exist. It has ceased to exist. There's no such thing as Walton magic.
No.
It doesn't matter if there were 20,000 people in the stands tonight, which the crowd was a little lighter than what we thought. But it doesn't matter if there was 20,000 people. It doesn't matter what you were doing. To have two 30-point beatdowns at home is just something I never dreamed in a million years would happen in any case, especially with this year's team. Just it's embarrassing. If you're an Arkansas Razorback fan, you got to be embarrassed that people are taking it to you on your home court like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, like, it's unacceptable. Like, you can have down years. Like, you can't expect Arkansas to go to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 every year. So, there's some grace with that. But to get just pounded like this at home, that can't happen, like, under any circumstance. And it's not like this team has had, the devastating injuries and everything like that. Like, Brazil's been out or whatever for a while, but he wasn't even producing while he was in there. This is a team that was ranked in the top 15 in the country preseason for a reason. And yeah, they were obviously overhyped a little bit, but there's still talent on this roster. Like, is Tennessee didn't go to Vanderbilt and win by 30. You know what I mean? So it's just it's
I don't know if they go to
unacceptable.
Missouri and win by 30.
No,
I mean, just being honest.
It's crazy, man. And I'll be very interested to hear, what Muss has to say after this. I know Scottie's in on that right now, but like we kind of talked about it. I don't remember if it was on the show or if we were just talking on the side earlier today, but it was like, if Arkansas comes out and gets pounded by Tennessee, what is he supposed to say at this point? Because it's just been the perpetual season of one step forward, like a mini step, and then 2 steps back. And now you just kind of hit the bottom. And I mean, now you're facing 2 tough road games in 2 places that he's never won before. And it's just probably going to get a lot worse before it gets any better.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know we'll get to a lot of your comments, folks, here in a little bit. But, yeah, Scottie's going to join us here in a second as well to give us an update on what Muss and L. Ellis, I believe, is the player.
Yeah.
In fact, Scottie's been letting us know that L. Ellis, just kind of a paraphrase of a quote, but says, we've just got to play harder. We just got to let the lead go. Frustrating to have a good performance against Georgia and not play well tonight. Ellis also said about Connect, he says he's a good player, scores at 3 levels, need to be tougher and more physical with him. And from what it also looks like, Muss is going crazy about the schedule and how it lays out.
Dude, yeah,
So,
we'll see what the context is there, but he can miss me with that, man. I mean,
this schedule has nothing to do with getting a 30-point beat down at home to Tennessee.
You just had a bye week, and you played Georgia at home, and then you weren't part of the Tuesday schedule, so you get Wednesday. Like, you have to play everyone at least once. Tennessee, you get them in your building. So what is there to complain about? And now you go on the road. I mean, it is what it is. Welcome to the SEC. Like, you've been here and done that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I really don't think that anybody else like if there's another team. Is there any team, if you power rank the most difficult SEC layouts of schedules, is Arkansas that much different than any other team in the SEC?
No.
I mean, I don't know.
No.
But I guess we'll hear more about it. And,
we're getting to the point where it's like football, where it's the constant, it's the toughest schedule in the SEC every year. Well, it's because, you can't play yourselves.
Yes.
Like, that's where you're at right now. What are they now? 3-8 in the league?
3-8.
I mean,
3-8.
That's how it works.
Yeah, not only that, but Curtis, it's like this is basketball where you're going to play every team in the SEC.
Yeah.
And you think about the teams you're playing twice this year, you actually benefited to me as far as the toughest teams you have to play this year, or you're only playing them once besides maybe Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But your permanent opponents that you play twice a year is LSU, A&M, and Missouri.
Yeah.
Those are not high-quality opponents.
No.
And then you throw in, like you mentioned, Kentucky, but you get Georgia twice.
Yeah.
Okay? And you get Auburn once at home. You get Tennessee once at home. You get teams like
South Carolina
at home. Yeah, like, to me, this was a schedule that actually is as beneficial as you could have when it comes to the amount of times you play the high-quality teams. Because if I'm looking at it correctly, and I want to make sure I get it right here, the teams you play twice this year, Kentucky's the best one at 7-4.
There you go.
And you play A&M twice, who's 6-5. Georgia's 4-7, LSU's 4-7, and Missouri's 0-11. Those are the teams you play twice in a year.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't buy it, man.
Will we be teeing off on the schedule? When they've got the Mizzou and Vandy back to back here in a week? Probably not.
No,
it's just the way it works, man.
No, it's a frustrating time for everybody, and I know Muss is frustrated, but like you said, like what can he say? What does it matter? I mean, I know. Well, he's got to do a press conference.
Yeah, I'm sure he loves it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's having the best of times right now as things are going on. But yeah, we're here at Bud Walton Arena, folks, and looking down on the court. I guess it's the KOF battle kind of hanging out like Jeremiah Davenport and is that Keon Minifield and the Grays?
If it's not, it looks like him.
Yeah. So
Layden Blocker was down there a minute ago. Looks like his dad's here, and
so just laying it out for you folks and giving you the vibes of what it's like post game here.
Yep.
Let's see a few things that are being said here in the comments section. And it's pretty nasty, but rightfully so. This one comes from Joe Lang. He says, Vols the better team, but this is the worst ball handling team I've ever seen. Doug Schow's worth 6 to 8 points to any Hog opponent.
I might agree with all that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, each one of those points, like 100%. We could retweet that, we would.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, the ball handling on this team, it's not even that for me so much as just like the crazy, lazy passes.
Yeah.
And from your point guards too, just like, man, just a lack of awareness, man, and urgency is not there. Yeah, agreed on the Doug Schow's. Although Was he the one that he made that call right on the goaltending that
Yeah,
didn't happen?
yeah, he did.
He got that right in the end, I guess.
Glad they could review it. It didn't matter though. It's just, but still, between that and Mandy Hunt almost having to get a warning from the officials down there.
That was the most electric thing that happened.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's like, of all people, man, you going after Mandy Hunt, man. But you better make sure your priorities are in order.
Dude, if I was Mandy Hunt and an official came talking to me, I'd be like, dude, I bought this building. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I built
talk
this
to
town.
me. Yeah,
it's
what
like,
do you mean?
that was the most electric thing there too. Austin says Dalton Connect is the real deal. Dude can score from anywhere. Yeah,
he's a bad man. I mean, when he opened the game with there was the baseline inbounds that Arkansas hasn't been able to defend all year, and he got the dunk right away. I was like, this dude might go for 50.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't, but he probably could have if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like,
and he also, I guess, what was it, 22.5 points is what the over-under was set, and he finishes with 22. So.
Yeah, go figure, man.
Yeah. I mean, everything sucked about tonight. I lost all my bets. Didn't hit the over. If Arkansas just would have scored, I don't know, some points in the second half, I may have had a chance at it. But, yeah, Tennessee did their job. Yeah. Hit the over. I'll give them that one.
I did have the, whatever the prop was, I think it was over 13.5 3-point attempts and over 11.5 turnovers for Arkansas. So
you nailed that one.
Yeah, that one.
That was easy.
Yeah,
that was an easy. Let's see. Young Mitch says we were 10th in the SEC last year. LOL. Where do we finish this year?
Well, you'd be lucky to finish there. You want to finish there.
This is Wednesday Night Sadness, right? Like we're here.
Yeah, I think we're here now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. You want to finish 10th. Like if you equal that, you consider this a success.
Mm-hmm. The Bo says, how many more 20-plus losses will it take for Muss's seat to be warm entering into next season if he returns at all? It's not going to be warm.
No. If Eric Musselman wants to stay, he'll be here.
He will stay
next year.
Yes. He is that if he wants to. If he wants to stay, he will stay.
Rumor has it Eric Musselman has been asked if there was anything positive to take away from this game.
Yeah, and what'd he say?
I don't know what he said, but what would you say?
Let's see.
I'd probably say something about the first half. He won't. He's probably gonna be like, no, dude. But I probably would say,
hitting your threes. Like
made some
good.
threes.
I like some of the defensive. Like I thought Caleb Battle in the beginning too. I thought defensively he had some nice strides. At least something we hadn't seen much out of him.
Yeah, he did. Davenport hit a few shots.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's about it. Yeah. That sums it up.
So I mean, we covered it. So you're welcome, whoever asked that stupid question.
Yeah.
2006 Nissan says, this team doesn't care. Zero chemistry, zero urgency on offense, zero communication on the floor. It's impressive how bad it is, which, again, like, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, retweet.
Yeah, how did this, just the fact that this all happened is just this quickly.
Scottie's back. He looks.
He looks perturbed?
Yeah.
All right, let's
get him in here.
Yeah, let's get Scottie in here. Let's all get snuggled in.
Yeah, let me scooch a little bit.
Yeah, make it happen for you over there. You're gonna have to, do the whole holding of the camera.
You have to include me in this.
No, we got to include you, Scottie. We got to include you because you're gonna give us the points of what Eric Musselman and L. Ellis had to say in this, I'm sure, riveting press conference.
I mean,
that just took place.
I sent y'all a few cliff notes, but Eric mentioned again that Arkansas, for the second time, has played the last game on a Wednesday, and then they've got an early game on Saturday. He mentioned that like 2 or 3 times. Let me see this. I was sending y'all text. I was sending y'all text, and then I forgot what I told
it's
you.
Okay.
He said, if you had told me before the game that Connect and Ziegler combined to make 2 threes and we lost by this much, I would have said no possible way. But there is a possible way.
He said that.
Yeah.
I'm glad he still got a sense of humor.
Also said, Bob asked him if he thought Tennessee was Final Four good. He said, I don't know what to tell you about. They just beat us by 29 points. They're a pretty damn good basketball team.
Is that the first time he's used the word damn in a press conference?
I feel like that's the first.
Because for somebody that cusses a lot, like on the floor, he does not usually drop the swear words, like the four-letter words.
That's a good point.
I think Eric doing that made me bet. It's going to make me bet Tennessee future. Like,
dude,
if you can get them going to the Final Four, I think that would be. I think you should do it.
Did he have an answer about having anything positive to?
It was, I think, something steals related, but it was
they did force some turnovers.
Yeah, didn't matter.
There we go.
How was his demeanor? I mean, did
He was a little bit more animated than usual. I think the schedule thing got him worked up.
Yeah.
He wasn't asked about Jalen Graham. But yeah, I mean, he's clearly frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what they,
but that was there were more emotion or more I don't know how to say it, more frustration I feel like from him than previous post game losses.
Yeah.
this one's not like it's the again. If he would have gotten beat like this to, Georgia this past Saturday, then maybe it would have been
Right.
like a much more like whoa. But I don't know. Like Tennessee's again just really really good. Arkansas's not, and that's it. Like
They're
to me,
good.
it's very to the point. Like
I
this,
think, man, like the most frustrating part about it, like you go into every game expecting to win, whatever. But I think realistically, you look at it and you say, beat Georgia, and now can we play against a top 10 team in our own building, compete, and maybe have a little something to continue to build off of
Yeah.
before this road trip? And now it's just all zap. Like,
Yep.
what are you taking to Starkville?
nothing.
What
does it matter?
Right.
Warm bodies.
And it worries me because you look at two teams who are very capable in Mississippi State and Texas A&M, who are very
yeah.
tough, who are very well coached, playing on their home floor. Mississippi State, by the way, who's coming off the bye here. And they're also both on the bubble, and they need to continue to stack wins to get into the NCAA tournament. And they got a lot to play for. They're going to be ticked off. They're going to be hungry. And Arkansas just, I don't know, man. These next couple games could get rough.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just got, Curtis said during the game, he said, this is where the game could get away. It did get away. And then he's like, they get their doors blown off in this game. Like, what does Eric say? And then I was like, I don't know what you can say, because
Schedule.
everything to the to the team,
Yeah.
like, how do you keep them going? I'm like, I think like this could be the beginning of like the actual tailspin where it
Yeah.
just gets like out of control bad, because it's been bad, but they've been 100. They haven't gone below 500 yet,
It's gone from circling the drain
They're
to like heading
500.
down the drain.
and they've got a 2-game road swing coming up.
Yep.
And then, in a couple buildings that you've had almost no success in the past. So
Well,
good luck.
and to add to that too, it's like this was a game that could really just like finally get a stake in the SEC of like, we got a quality win over a high quality team. We did it in front of our home fans. We can have something to at least hold our hat on, but
Right.
this was your last opportunity, because we know what the home schedule looks like the rest of the way. And in, if they beat Vanderbilt, Missouri, and LSU, you ain't bragging about that. You ain't feeling like no one's getting out of there saying
I
how
just
great it
really
was.
hope they do those things.
They
They could do that and still not finish 500 this season.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. The rest of the way, over under 1.5 wins for Arkansas in SEC play.
They'll beat Missouri.
I'll go over, but if you
And
So I
say
should have said a 2.5 then.
No,
Make 2.5
I think
the
I think
number.
it's fair, because like Vandy beat Missouri, so just because you could like Vandy might be a game here.
It
and,
might
like,
be.
I mean, they just beat
35,
A&M.
35 people might see it.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah, I would, if you said 2.5 to me right now, I would probably go under, because, I mean, yeah, in theory, like, okay, Missouri, Vanderbilt, and LSU, but LSU beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's
I
going to be
feel good.
here or whatever, but does that mean anything at this point? Like, is Will Baker suddenly going to not be, their
Ray Allen
kryptonite?
2.0.
Yeah, so
Well,
Check this out. So Arkansas right now, Ken Palm just updated after this Arkansas game ended. Arkansas right now is 129. That is the worst an Arkansas team, I believe, has been. Like, I'm looking at a bunch of like the season end finishes. It'll go back to Stan Heath's first year, 2002, 2003.
where they won 9 games that year. Jeez.
Yeah, to find
Great.
an Arkansas team that was like that low.
Where the
Palm.
star players were Denisio Gomez, Carl Baker, and like a freshman Jonathan Monica
I
from
tell you what,
Smacko.
your Arkansas Razorback sports memory is like, you're like young Rick Schaefer with these details.
Yeah,
That's a
trust
really
me,
good word.
I remember the hard times. I remember Because you know what's funny is because I had a Razorback basketball poster that I got from like the local harps, and it had the seniors on the front, which was Blake Edens, Denicio Gomez, Carl Baker, Larry Satchel, and Alonzo Lane. It's just like, what? And now it's and this team is what makes it so horrible. Is like this team is not. He's so much better than that team. Has so much more talent than that team.
But then in 10 years or however long, we'll be looking back on this team saying the same thing.
Oh,
like,
you're right, man.
That was Caleb Battle and Jalen Graham, and
yeah,
and that I think that just depressed me a lot more.
Well,
actually,
that's what we're here for, to make
Thank
everyone
you.
worse. And make everyone feel worse.
Gosh.
Let's see. We got a few other people chiming in here. The 2006 Nissan says, can we get the basketball games moved to the SEC Network Plus and baseball moved to the main ESPN networks? I don't think that's how it works, but I see what you're saying.
I get it.
At least to play it. So
they might. I would imagine at this point, if there are any more of those ESPN 2/U games, they're going to be on the U.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to be like.
I think that's where they're at now.
And assuming that the game will start late because somebody's going to run late, they're going to be like, we may keep you on ESPN News.
Yes.
I don't even know if that's still a
you
channel.
could just stay there.
Yeah.
Right?
They're going to bring back ESPN Classics to put this team on right now.
The U might be like underground because that's where like I don't know who wants to watch this team above ground now.
No, not right now. Jax also says if the season continues on this pattern, who would want to hire Muss based off the season's performance? I think his stock is go down. Stay at the U of A, regroup, and show up in 2020.
Dude, it's not it's like if
That's not how it
somebody
works,
goes and
though.
gets him, it's not because of this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to hire him before the year started. They're like, actually, you actually suck. Like, and that this one season is what dictates all of that.
Yeah, it's when you hire a coach, like it's the full body of work and the resume. It's his ability to attack the portal and build a roster in a winter quick, which he's proven he can do at multiple stops. And it's the buyout that doesn't exist in his contract.
Yep.
Like he's affordable, it's proven, quick fix kind of guy. Like there's a lot of appeal there for a guy like Muss.
And look, a school like Louisville would kill for a 500 season.
Yeah. Shoot.
You know, so like they would.
Yeah,
like,
it can
they're
get worse,
probably
people.
still like really fired up.
Yeah, but say if they hired Muss at Louisville, they would just rejoice to all levels. And I guess that's also a question too, because we've talked about it. When the rumors were really getting crazy with Muss and leaving Arkansas, have your guys' opinion or your feeling of that changed at all? Like, you think you're more confident that it might actually happen?
Yes.
You're less confident or the same? So you're more confident that it thinks he's gone. So
yeah,
okay.
That's I think there's a very strong and realistic possibility that could happen. Yeah. And to feed off of that and then go back to the comment that we were just talking about, like, I think another thing to consider is by having a year like this, it actually, in my opinion, like would make Muss more open to taking other jobs, as opposed to just holding out for the biggest, best ones. You know what I mean? Because like, it's kind of hurt me. And we've talked about it before too. Like there is going to be an entire roster rebuild here at Arkansas, so it's not like you would just have a full cupboard of studs coming back. You're going to have to build anywhere you go. And did anybody look around this building tonight? And I'm not saying I blame people for not showing up.
No, I don't blame him at all.
Now for the first time, he's also seeing, hey, if things get bad, like they're not rocking with you the way you think, man.
Yeah.
And so if they have a bad year here, they finish under 500, it's a disaster. The team underachieves. How do we think this is going to go for him next year? Coming into the year, no matter what he does in the portal, people are going to be chirping about it. And I'm not saying there's going to be a hot seat, but there's going to be a lot of skepticism. There's not going to be the same level of excitement. So there are a lot of things, a lot of factors for him to consider.
Yeah.
And do I think there's a chance he's somewhere else in 6 weeks? Yeah, sure do.
That sucks.
We'll see what happens, man. But
now you depress me more. But I can't disagree with you.
You want to talk
I
about
mean-
something fun that happened tonight? Can we do that?
Yeah, let's talk about this. Scottie had a great story.
So like midway through the second half, I just like randomly look at my laptop and somebody requested to airdrop me a picture. And I was like, Curtis, somebody named LD's iPhone wants to send you a picture. And And I was like, I don't know if I should do this because I didn't know if I was going to got like,
gosh.
this dude's like trying to airdrop you a picture of like the big,
Yeah,
big
the
black
big
guy
LD,
sitting on
you know.
the big black guy sitting on
LD's
the edge of
LD.
the bed type of picture.
Uh-huh.
And Curtis was like, no, you just do it. Just do it. And so I accepted it. And then I had to like, I thought for a second about just like throwing my jacket up
Man.
over my laptop screen and then looking at it because, I mean, you just never know.
I feel like that would have made it worse.
But it turned out to be a black gentleman doing a duck face, just like at
Well, he
home.
was
It was not
clothed.
here. The picture was not taken here.
Yeah, but he was clothed.
It
right?
was like yes,
Okay.
yes, on just
Just want to make sure.
throat up.
Yep.
But the picture was not taken here. You could there's like a let me pull it up. There's a sign that you would get it like at home
Yeah.
in the background.
LD, show yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reveal yourself.
Yeah.
Prove that it's you.
Kinda
And,
got the- like
and we'll get
the-
you on the show.
Kind of got like the Don King hair going on,
Man,
duck
okay.
face.
Okay.
Looks
and
good.
I accepted it, and I wanted to fall on the floor laughing.
We needed that. Thank you.
It was
Yeah, but
very-
say,
it
yeah,
really
somebody
good.
was wanting some positive news. I think it was Dwayne saying, "Hey, give me some positive news on a crappy night." There you go. Scotty got a great airdrop from somebody.
Oh, that was so
That's,
funny.
So whatever that's
that's where we're
worth.
at.
Was there anything else? That was it, probably.
I mean, again, we
Good
talked about
news,
the
yeah.
Mandy Hunt thing. That was pretty entertaining.
That was entertaining. Yeah, that was good.
These officials soft these days. If
Man, I'll tell ya.
what you said, she said was what she actually said.
That's what my sauces said down there in Gucci Row. Said that it was just simple. Call it both ways, ref. But my thing is like, of all the people, you're telling me as an official, you're gonna go up against Mandy Hunt. Like, you should know who that woman is for one. But
Yeah.
also, she's an older woman. Like, what's she gonna do? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand if she's dropping F-bombs at you, insulting your family, like stuff like that. But come on. There's, like, you're next to like, how is it that this is my thing. How can the people who are on Gucci Roll have to be held to a higher standard of what they say compared to the students who are literally 10 feet behind them? Like, what is that? Like, the things that we've heard students say, it's like, if they chant "ref, you suck" in the student section, nothing happens. But if you say "ref, you suck" on Gucci Roll, you're out of here. That makes no sense.
I wish she would have leaned into it and just gotten like,
Oh, she got ejected. That
a
would've
cop
been awesome.
on each arm, just escorting her out,
Mhm.
security, whatever. I mean, that would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
Standing O.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Standing
like,
O, for sure.
She'll have his job in the morning. Like, she's that type, man. It's crazy. So,
Oh man.
No, speaking of the students too, I think it was the under-8 media timeout. Tonight was Sharkensaw. They're all dressed in their shark fits and
Mhm.
stuff. The under-8 media timeout hits, and a bunch of them leave. And that's when it's
it's bad.
Yeah.
really,
And about half
really,
as many
really
as
bad.
normal show up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get-
That's not a slight at the students. Like, I
No.
get them for leaving. I would have
get
done the
it.
same thing if I was in school.
Yeah. Just telling of where where things are at.
For sure.
So that's a frustrating deal.
Yeah.
A lot of
Dalton-
people were hitting me with the, and that's just the thing. Because I tweet out before the game, like right before tip, I was like, it's a very light crowd. Is something going on that I don't know about? Like, was there an accident? Is there
Is it
some
wreck at
crazy
the tunnel?
traffic? Like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on? And so many people were like, oh, well, it's a holiday. It's Valentine's Day. First of all, that's a made up holiday. Second of all, what's more romantic than being at Bud Walton Arena?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things this year, but in the past, like, dude, that's a home run date. If you're trying to end the night on a good note,
Hey.
right, with your Valentine's Day, you
Yeah.
bring her to Bud Walton.
Listen.
Ellis tried to do that tonight.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Huh. Guess we'll have to find out what happened to old Ellis here there in the morning. But no, but you're right. It's like, this is honestly, if you bring a Valentine's date and watch this crap, and y'all still like hooked up at the end of the night, keeper.
Keeper.
You know it's right. Because if y'all went through this trash and you still ended the night on a high note in your own personal life, then you guys are set.
Or
you
if
might,
found
you
your
might
soulmate.
consider putting a ring on it.
Yeah,
like
you
if-
found your soulmate.
If before this game ended, she was like, let's leave and let's go watch better games at home, keep her too.
Yeah.
You might should just propose
Dude,
on
yeah,
the,
about to say,
on
just
the walk
pull
back
that
to lot
ring out.
56.
Yep, just pull that ring out.
I
and
do. Yeah.
meet
yeah.
the parents.
I do want to get a very honest answer from Ellis. Like, did they stay the whole game?
Oh,
That's what I want to know.
Man.
Like, did you stay until the final horn, or were you one of them?
Oh, there's
Yeah.
no way, there's no chance he stayed till the final horn.
I don't know.
the only
like,
way he
that dude
stayed
was
is if
gone
he
by
had the
halftime.
over.
Huh?
The only way only reason he would have stayed is if he had the over. But you could just you game cast that on the walk back, I guess.
Oh yeah, he was Audi 5000. He was Gonzo. So, all right. So Arkansas, freaking LSU next. I know not LSU. It's in. John Stiff saying Hogs by 9. You're gonna have to say Hogs lose by 30.
Yikes.
But true.
Yeah, I mean,
But true.
you know,
I mean,
Man,
I'll have to change the sign on my studio wall. Maybe I can put like a little pipe cleaner or something over with the 9 and kind of mark out the. I'll make it work.
you'll
but,
figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
somebody on this screen right here said Arkansas was going to win tonight. I don't know who that guy was, but
Who among
it's
us?
wild. I don't know who would say that. But,
Who
yeah,
among us said that this game would be Arkansas?
oops.
Not that I predicted that or anything, too.
I mean,
'cause-
I feel like we all had the thought that it could get weird in here tonight. We just didn't think that weird would be almost losing by 30 for the second time in
Yeah.
like 5 weeks at home.
Man, like I even said, I think we all said going, it's like just get to the under 4 in the final part of the game and keep the game in doubt. Like keep it still. If you did that, I'd at least be saying, hey, we got to see an entertaining basketball game.
Yeah, give people a reason to stay.
Yes.
And a reason. And
Reason to
like
show
you said
up.
before, Scotty, a reason to come back.
Yeah,
and
they have
now,
no reason to come back now.
after what's probably going to happen next week, like what's it going to look like for this Missouri game
Yeah,
when they
dude,
come
yeah.
back here?
Dude,
I
I don't want to
mean-
think about it.
Yeah. I mean, what would it take
Well,
for
we
people
won't have
to come
to.
back
That's
here?
true. We're not going to be here.
What would it take for people to come back here for these next, like the next home games?
I don't
Like,
think it
they-
matters. Like I think they go win both games on the road next week.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would matter.
Yeah, I don't
but,
think it doesn't move the needle.
No.
dude,
Like, again, it's going to
Would it
literally
be
have
nice to see? Yes. Would it matter? No.
No, it's going to literally have to be like the Burlsworth kids at games where people are just giving their tickets away and they say some people are seeing their very first Razorback game because that's the only reason people would want to go and see this team is play is because it's like, hey, I've never been to a Razorback game before, so I got free tickets down low. Probably Gucci Rose going to be giving them away, and you can go sit down there and eat your, overpriced thing of corn and
Yeah, man.
just have at it.
they might have to take a page out of the Mike Nabors playbook and do the elementary night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just hey, get all the kiddos in here, bust them in.
It'd be loud.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be energized and everything. So.
It's-
All right. I mean, guys, I don't know of anything else to say. I don't know if you guys got.
y'all talk about Dalton Connect.
No, we mentioned
He's
that he's
good.
pretty good.
Agree or disagree that he could be an NBA rotation guy right now?
Oh yeah,
Like he might be like one like
The
first or
dude is
second
skilled
first
in
or second
so
guy off
many
the
ways.
bench on a solid team.
he
Yeah.
should be the first college player taken in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really like went for 22 and it's like he barely broke a sweat doing it. Everything was easy. Got to every spot that he wanted. Blocked shots,
Guarded.
steals,
Yeah, he guarded.
rebounded, guarded,
Yeah.
blocked a T-mark jumper. Like he's unreal.
No, he's a guy that when you talk about it being easy, it's been a while since I've seen a multi-college year player be that polished. Like it just seemed so smooth, so easy. He knew exactly what to do, where to be.
Mhm.
I mean, it
And-
was impressive.
How did Tennessee get him? Like, because they're not known for just these high octane offenses and, having a bunch of freedom to create and score. And like, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment and like knock the portal work of Eric Musselman because he's done an overwhelmingly great job, but like, be cool if Arkansas get that guy, or
Be nice.
the Dalton Connects of the world, the Hunter Dickinsons of the world. And so it goes back to, it's not all about NIL, but that's a factor into it. But
Mhm.
I do think there's a difference in Arkansas gets really solid transfer portal classes and players, but there's another level to this. And
Yep.
you see a guy like Dalton Connect, and there's still things to strive for in
No
terms of
doubt.
the type of guys you need to bring in.
How was he at Northern Colorado too?
Well, he was a JUCO guy,
Yeah.
and so maybe he wasn't a qualifier or whatever, or maybe he's one of those guys who grew a foot. I don't know, but yeah, he balled out there, and then got to Northern Colorado, and I think people quickly realized like
This guy
he
might
shouldn't be
good.
here.
I mean, he's head and shoulders best player I've seen this year.
Oh, 100,
Yeah.
And we've seen
Yeah.
David Jones is a hooper. Dalton Connect is like a decade plus in
It's
the
different
league
level.
type of dude.
No.
Yeah,
And again, he just looks like a guy that's, like you said, ready right now. Just
Yeah.
you could throw him into
I
the
mean, he's-
NBA and
Like a lot of guys need to get to the league and like develop their body some. He ain't one of those.
no,
he's sculpted.
He's ready.
He's ready for an 82 game season like right now.
And the other thing that's really interesting about Tennessee, we talked about like matchups, like how is Arkansas going to match up with them? How are they going to defend them? You know how Tennessee defended Arkansas? However the hell they wanted.
Yep.
Like they were having, like I look up at one time and Jonas Adu, who is their starting center, like he's guarding Devo. He's guarding a guard, like they've got a guy like Josiah Jordan James, who's just a big, huge body, and he's guarding Garnell, he's guarding Minifield. It doesn't matter. Like every one of those guys can literally sit down and guard 1 through 5. They can switch anything they want to. It like you can run down in transition, and it doesn't matter how you're matched up. They can hold their own. Arkansas is the opposite of that. Like they just are incapable of getting stops and stringing them together.
Yeah,
and it's just the gap there is it's kind of crazy to me.
Tennessee did not miss more than, so they missed 4 shots in a row, from like 15-18 to 14-28, and then they did not miss more than 3 straight shots the rest of the way. I mean, you can't get stops, dude, at all. And to Curtis's point on Arkansas just being ridiculously easy to guard, they had guys out there who, like if you're putting your shooting lineup out there, they were on the floor.
Yep.
But I remember one time T-Mark was at the top of the key, I think, and you had Shooter on the wing, Shooter in the corner. T-Mark kind of drove right of the right elbow, and Vescovi's on the left wing, or he's on the wing, and I can't remember who's in the corner. But they like both leave to go to the ball, and they are just like the last thing that they're concerned with on the face of the planet is the 2 guys Arkansas's got on the strong side of the floor that the ball handler could kick it to. They're not worried about them. Mm-hmm. Stop the ball. If y'all want to take that shot out there, be our guest.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
they don't
give it to them.
Just, yeah.
And the other difference between these 2 teams is Tennessee. I mean, they turned it over quite a bit. How many turnovers did they have in this game? They had a dozen turnovers, but they make a mistake, and Arkansas's got a 3-on-1 break in transition, and Tennessee gets a stop out of it, or they contest the heck out of it. Arkansas, on the other hand, one play that really sticks out to me: Tremont Mark driving, feels like he should have got a call, didn't, throws his hands up in the air, he's jogging back, he doesn't get back to get matched up with Connect, who rips through and drives straight down the middle of the lane and bangs on Graham.
Yeah,
and if that's not, I mean, that's just. If that's not telling of the difference between these 2 teams, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
It's just it's a mess. But I mentioned Graham getting banged on, and he did. But shout out to him, because I'm pretty sure his shoulder popped out.
Yeah,
like,
it did.
Like it definitely did. And he put the brace on, and he went back out there and he gutted it out. So people who always call him soft or question his toughness or whatever, you shouldn't.
He might be the toughest guy they got on the roster.
Yeah, that's tough. So good on him for that. Maybe that's a positive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I say that, but then he's probably going to feel like crap tomorrow, and who knows if he'll be able to play this weekend.
For sure.
It's Bay fall time, baby.
It is Bay fall. It was Bay fall time for a minute.
Yeah.
He made a free throw.
He did do that. And in fact, the free throw that he missed may have bounced more times on a rim than I've ever seen a free throw in my life.
That was crazy.
I think it bounced 5 times on the rim and,
yes,
and did
straight
not
up and down.
And did not go in. Like it was wild. Like that's literally Arkansas. That's Arkansas in a nutshell. A free throw that hits the rim 5 times and still doesn't go in.
Yeah, man.
Like it's just no other way to put it. So,
oh, brother.
Man, I don't know. Like I'm over it, guys. I don't know about you. I'm over it.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like I had something else to say and I forgot it, which is like on brand.
What else is there left? Like anything that's left unsaid tonight has been said, several times in this arena this year. And it's frustrating.
Hey, baseball season's Friday.
Baseball season's Friday.
Yeah.
And thank God for that, because this team is becoming very, very challenging. Not necessarily to cover, because there's plenty to talk about, but like,
but it's
please stay interested.
I remembered now. Thank you. You jogged my memory. How about Eric? Like looking back now, when he first called out this team for not having any characteristics of past teams, and then just like he knew at that point what he was saying was true because there's nobody around the team more, and then probably should have taken it as a sign of like, man, this really ain't going to turn around. Because you say that then and you still got like a whole SEC season. You still had non-con games to go. and it's like I still got like 2.5 months with this.
And that's what I think
It's just
I
not-
was. I was definitely. I think you guys were too. I was afraid of that. The fact that it was just like, it's one thing if you say it with 5 games left of the season, but when that was going on and you still had freaking 13 games left.
Pre-conference.
Yeah.
Pre-conference.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was thinking
Yeah.
that.
Even more so, you had freaking 18 plus games left. It's like, oh no. Oh no.
I
We're
think
gonna
we
have
just
to
kind of
endure this
brushed it
too.
off. Just brushed it off. I don't know if we completely brushed it off, but it's like, he probably means that. He means it to a degree.
Trying to be
but-
motivating.
but it's just a different way of saying what maybe he has in the past. But he was right. He nailed it. He
Hey,
nailed it. This
That
team's
he
just
did.
not
nice.
tough, not gritty, has no competitive spirit. He said that tonight too. Like Tennessee's just got a different kind of competitive spirit, and
Oh, yeah.
it was plain to see. Arkansas just doesn't.
You know what
I think I'm done now.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Hey, I know it's always a woulda, coulda, but man, I love to see what Musk could do with that Tennessee roster. Like, I mean, just being
know, man.
honest, like
Yeah.
having players like that, tough guys.
He talked
Yeah.
a lot about Jonas Adu tonight. Like
Yeah.
he
As
went
he
for
should've.
what, 22 or 23.
He
and
performed
whatever.
well.
Yeah.
He,
That's-
he-
performed
you
well.
know,
But
he-
you know what? That's player development.
Hmm.
Like how many? I get it. Like different teams have different approaches, and Arkansas hits the portal hard. But even a 4-year guy like Devo, how much better has he actually gotten over over the course of the 4 years? Like from his freshman season to today, has he gotten better?
I don't
Smarter,
think so.
Because he's more experienced. But like in terms of like what skill set has really improved there?
yeah.
That dude, like I said, Jonas Adu, he was Bayfall when he got to Tennessee. He was just a long, wiry kid, and you're like, what is this guy doing? And now he's putting double doubles on you, and he's defending, he's protecting the rim, he's rebounding, and the dude's got a quick catch and shoot jumper. Like he's a
He
pro.
does,
Like
yeah.
he's going to play in the league, and he wasn't a McDonald's All-American. He just bought into the program. He stuck around for a couple years, and look at him now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd talk about that dude too.
Eric said he was like the most improved guy in the league.
Oh yeah.
And he mentioned that, that jumper that he knocked down a couple times.
Mhm.
You brought it up. Eric brought it up. I mean, that's what separates him. That's, it's going to make him a pro.
Just
Yeah.
hearing the amount of times that Muss has had complimented another team's roster this year has been pretty awesome.
Strategic.
Yeah, it's like very much like I think it was about, I forgot which team it was.
I don't think he's got any tick left after this year.
No,
could
I
be
forgot
wrong,
which
though.
team they're about to play. I think it was on his radio show at Sassy's or whatever. But he's like they asked him about the team that he's about to play. He goes, "I love their roster."
Ole
I was
Miss.
like,
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
Bunch
He's
of
like, I love
thick
their
guys.
roster. Yeah, it's like, oh, jeez, yep, it's all over. Like we're done for.
Maybe Arkansas fans should learn to love that roster. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Let's
so. Maybe
see.
so. Maybe get a little action in that. All right, guys. Any other thoughts before we wrap up?
My brain is just like melted and it's
Mhm.
oozing out of my ears watching
Yep.
this team. I almost wanted to take my contacts out during the game.
I almost wanted to
just
take
didn't
my
wanna-
eyeballs
I just
out.
didn't want to see it anymore.
Yeah, I almost wanted to gouge my eyes out with spoons.
I do have a thought.
Oh,
I think people would enjoy, even though the season has kind of tanked here. Go back to the latest episode of the Pod at the Palace and listen to our interview with Layden Blocker.
Yep.
I know a lot of people were ticked off, wondering why the heck he wasn't playing in this game, why it took so long to turn to him, why was he starting, what has he done wrong? He's the only guy that defends. All those things, but go listen to that interview with Blocker, and I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent, like that he should have been playing or whatever, but he's aware of the situation, and I just thought some of the answers he gave to the questions we asked were so mature and maybe beyond his age. I think people would really appreciate that. And
I
then
think so.
also, I think if you listen to him, you realize that even though the season is stunk, those guys are still finding ways to have fun, and that's important. And so I think it might do people some good to get a
Yeah.
refreshing take from a homegrown talent who
Yeah.
has been going through it. But you know what? I thought he did a great job. So
Yeah.
listen to that.
And that podcast is largely evergreen. So it's just like we just hit him with a bunch of questions that, I feel like if the common fan would want to ask him
Yeah.
and want to get answers to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just-
outside of asking him if he wanted to guard Dalton Connect, we didn't really ask him about Tennessee. So yeah, you can go listen to it anytime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now you see why. Like, we don't want to ask him about those games.
shout out to Megan for listening.
Very good interview.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Look at that. Yeah, it was good. It was a good one. So, all right. Well, Scotty, you have any thoughts? You're going? Okay, cool. All right. Well,
I'm putting
we're
this
done.
down.
Yeah,
He's
we're
dropping the
done.
mic.
Yeah, we're
actually.
done. Kind of wish our internet would have like disconnected during this whole crap.
Yeah,
Just
it's
so we
tough.
could just go home.
Thank you
Yeah.
all for
Yes, thank you
tuning
for
in,
doing this. I don't know
venting with us.
why you guys are doing this, but thank you.
Okay,
We
one more
appreciate
thing.
you. Okay.
LD, whoever you are, let me know you have a seat on the pod at the Palace.
Yep, you're in, dude.
I just need to
prove
know
it.
why you did it. I'll get the answer, and it'll probably make me laugh. And if you want to, whoever, send me, airdrop me pictures. I don't care.
We'll bring you in. It'll be worth your time.
I mean, what else are we going to do during the Mizzou and Vandy home games?
I don't know, ice our
You
balls
guess.
and spit up blood. I mean, like, just nothing else than this.
I'm smuggling the smelling salts into the next
Dude,
home
yeah,
game.
dude, we're gonna need
So.
something more powerful than that, but that's true. So, well,
All
appreciate everybody watching, listening in. Sure to check out all of our great content at Natty State Sports at the Pod at the Palace with Curtis and Scotty. And at the John Nabors Show tomorrow. I know old Ellis, even though he's absent, he's gonna be doing a great job with the Bombastic podcast. Have a great interview with that coming up this weekend too, and we'll do our best to keep you guys entertained, even though it's really hard to find success with Razorback sports right now. But we'll do our best. You'll do our best, and at least we can count on that. So have a great night, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.